The Mosin is going through changes, and so is this channel. Hi everybody, my name is Onepeg MG, and this is the news now with a brand new Shure SM7B microphone. Yes, we finally got rid of the Yeti Pro. It served us well over the last year, but all good things, and in this case, all too much boosted mid-range things, need to come to an end. And with that, now we have an even deeper, potentially sexier, and for some of you, even potentially more annoying sounding broadcaster. But anyway, the Mosin. So very, very recently, I want to say within the last 3 or 4 days, Pestily did a video, which I will link in the description of this one, that had to do with the Mosin Nagant rifle. Now, it's no secret to anyone that the rifle historically has been an issue of contention. Either it was too inexpensive, or too easily accessible, or the ammo was too good, or naked players running around with Mosins dubbed Moslings or Mosinlings, kind of akin to the Hatchling or the Pistolling, the holy trinity of Tarkov, has been notorious for having min-max effects, meaning for a minimum amount of cost, you could have maximum results. And through the testing that Pestily did, it's, again, no surprise, or should not be a surprise to anyone, that the Mosin is arguably the best absolute bang, no pun intended, for your buck that you can possibly get in the game right now. It has the ability to one-shot anyone through any helmet, save for maybe the face shield of Killa's helmet. In the case of the way that the game is working now mechanically, the idea is to try to garner as much loot as you can. And if a game like Tarkov is based around how much are you risking for that reward, the idea is then to risk as minimally of an amount of gear as possible, then taking in a Mosin rifle, even just with iron sights, and having some good aim will net you some amazing, amazing results for an extremely low cost. Compounding with this, it was also proven, based on just the damage and penetration numbers, that the level 1 Prapor ammo that is supplied to you, being LPS GZH, is the absolute best ammo that you can possibly get in the game, as proven by Pestily. And the reason for that is because the damage associated with that ammunition, along with its penetration rate, allowed people to be able to one-shot anyone that was wearing anything less than a Gen 4 level chest at any point in time during the game. And you can one-shot anyone through a helmet by just using that basic low-level ammunition. In fact, it's even better than the SNB ammo, which has a significantly higher penetration chance, therefore better against all of the other armor types. However, even though the penetration chance is as high as it is, the base damage of the round is less. So, even if you penetrated someone's fort armor, it doesn't have enough damage potential or stopping power to one-shot someone through that armor, even with the damage buff that it recently received. So what does this all boil down to? Well, it means that when you use a basic Mosin that you can get with Prapor at level 1, and use the ammunition that is supplied almost infinitely from Prapor at level 1, you are using the best possible combination of gun and ammunition in the game, starting at your own PMC's level 1. And there really is no incentive moving forward to use anything stronger than that, unless you just feel like having personal preference. All of this is background, right? And all of this is things that most everyone in the community knows already. But here's what happens, okay? And this should be no surprise. When it comes to content creators like Pestily or Veritas, people that are really, really out there, and to some extent, small extent, myself, and, you know, thankfully to all of you guys, we're getting bigger and more important every single day or something. Due to research like that, that then potentially spurs the devs into doing something about it. In this case, they did. The easiest place to reference these changes would be on the Wikipedia log, because they track all of this stuff. So very recently, now within the last 24 hours, this has been modified. So now the damage of LPS ammo, what used to be 84 and 55, has now been changed to 82 and 51. What does this mean? Well, not a whole lot. Essentially what it does is it modifies the ability for Gen 4 armor and fort armor to tank the bullet. Okay? The idea being that as a round has less penetration chance, or as a round does slightly less damage, that equates to how much durability loss do I need to take on my piece of armor before the bullet shooting me becomes lethal. So it used to be that you could take a Gen 4, brand new Gen 4, and if it got below 52% durability, then you had an extremely high chance, if not 100% chance, to be one shot through the chest. So the moment that your Gen 4 armor got to 31 durability, 32 durability, or less, you were going to take a lethal shot to the chest from LPS ammunition. Again, we're talking about LPS because LPS is the best possible round to use in a Mosin currently. Given this change, this moves that marker from 52% to 39%, allowing you to be able to use your armor for a little bit longer before, again, you could get one shot through it. Now, this has no real effect whatsoever on anything worse than a Gen 4. So if you're wearing a Karasa, a Gazelle, P.A.C.A., God forbid that piece of cardboard, or a 3M vest, you're still going to get one shot. It's still going to kill you. The Untar vest, same thing, right? Anything stronger than that, you're going to take 2 hits, and then you're dead. This has no real effect on anything having to do with helmets. As we know, the HP pool of the head is significantly less than that of the chest, and helmets don't really do anything to stop these rounds whatsoever, so you're still going to get one shot if you take a headshot from one of these rifles, no matter what. In addition to this, there was also an ergonomics change. So for all of the rifles, all of them, whether it was carbines, infantry rifles, the regular sniper rifle, doesn't matter, they've all had ergo nerfs. Everything associated with the Mosin rifle that was at one time 13 potential ergonomics on the start has now been nerfed to -2. So, what does this mean? Well, this means that the raising and lowering of the rifle will be slower. The centering of the rifle will be slower. You're going to have a little bit more weapon sway. And it is made worse by having the Mosin shrunk in size. So if you use a sawn-off Mosin sniper with a long barrel or something along those lines, and you become even more memey, as it were, with these guns, you can get to -20 as it stands. Now, I don't know what kind of effect this is going to realistically have on the use of the rifle in the game. That stands to need some testing. I would say it's going to make it slightly less accurate and slightly less flick ability-wise, something that you're going to be able to kill people with, but it's still going to be lethal. I kind of agree with Pestily in the sense of the Mosin and how this is working right now, where it really needs to become something closer to what Prapor does at level 1 by allowing people to barter a battery for a Mosin with a scope on it. Now, I think that the flea market kind of eliminates an awful lot of those barriers for people to be able to barter for items or have a reliance on having to barter for them, because once the flea market gets a hold of things, you can just buy whatever you want for cash. But it slows down the process. And I think the idea of having something more like this that's extremely powerful, heavily reliant on a barter system, very much like what the RSAS has associated with it, or any of the rarer attachments that are a little bit more desirable, adds an element to the game that slows down the min-max meta. I'd like to see whether or not these mechanical changes end up having a larger impact on the game. I have a feeling it won't be quite enough, but I'm looking forward to how this plays. So yeah, that's what I have for the purpose of this video. I want to thank you guys again for all of the overwhelming support. Hopefully I don't look too tired this morning. It's daylight savings time, so I lost an hour, but I'm going to be heading on to stream here in a little bit. Thank you guys so much again for everything. And if I don't see you on the stream, I will see you tomorrow. Thanks so much. Bye.